If you've clicked on this video, chances are you're considering hiring a freelancer for your business, or you've already hired one and you're facing some challenges along the way. Hiring the right freelancer can be an absolute game changer for you and your business, but on the flip side, hiring the wrong freelancer can be a very costly and frustrating experience. You might be asking questions like, how do I pay them? Will they steal my idea? How do I manage them? How do I continue working with them after my initial contract is done? I will be answering all these questions and more by the end of the video. Today in this video, I'm going to share with you my experience of spending over $40,000 working with freelancers. I'm going to show you exactly what did work for me, what didn't work for me, and the crucial lessons that I learned that will save you time, money, and a lot of headaches, trust me. All right, so here is my Upwork profile. As you can see, this is a job post that I posted recently, and here's kind of my about the client section. As you can see, I have a 4.9 star rating, 115 reviews, 107 jobs posted, $40,000 total spent. 134 hires. I have 3 freelancers active right now, and this is indeed my profile. As you can see, I can edit this and do as I wish here. And then I'll show you my ratings as well. Here are all my 5-star ratings. So I think it's safe to say that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to hiring freelancers on Upwork. So as you can tell, I've been doing this for a very long time. I think I started hiring freelancers when I was just in high school. I think it was like 2015. And the first freelancer I actually hired was to do some homework for me. So, you know, regardless of what job you need done, whether it's homework or app development or marketing or video editing, whatever it is, you can find someone out there to do this work for you. And hiring is hands down the most important skill that you will learn as an entrepreneur, as a founder. Because at the end of the day, you need a team around you that is going to support your vision and help you go further. There are so many misconceptions and people are so scared to hire freelancers online. And I get it. It's a scary thing, hiring someone that you don't really know. But I'm here to tell you, if you know where to look for freelancers and what to look for in these freelancers, you can find the best talent and the cheapest talent the world has to offer. So if you stick around and you watch this entire video, I guarantee that by the end of it, you will have a complete understanding of how to hire and manage freelancers successfully without getting ripped off. I have absolutely nothing to sell you in this video. I'm just going to show you exactly how I find, vet, hire, and manage freelancers for all of my businesses. And last thing I want to say really quick is thank you so much to everyone who has been subscribing to the channel. We just hit 11,000 subscribers. It means the absolute world to me that you guys are supporting the channel and the videos, and please consider dropping a like and a sub. It motivates me to keep creating content just like this and dropping value for free. So with that being said, let's jump into it. Here is the blueprint that we are going to be working off of. I'm going to take you through each one of these steps in this video. I'm literally going to be doing this live with you. I'm going to show you exactly where to hire freelancers, how to set up the job posts, how to vet and verify that these freelancers are good. We're going to do that on a video call. Again, I will do that live in this video. I will take a video call with a freelancer and vet them live on this video. And then finally, we will go over how to manage them after starting. We will go over, you know, if you want to send them an NDA, that's completely fine. If you're worried about them taking your idea, I get it. We are going to go over how to pay them and etc. How to keep up good communication and how to build a relationship with these freelancers, because they truly can become some of your best employees. I've run agencies, I've built and scaled apps, and I continue to work with these freelancers for years on end. I have built such great relationships with a lot of the freelancers that I've been working with, and we're now good friends, and they continue to work for me for a long time. What's amazing too is now that I've done this for such a long period of time, I don't really have to go back to Upwork if I need something. I have my go-to developer, I have my go-to designers, I have my go-to paid ads people, right? I don't really need to post jobs at this point because I've hired freelancers that I trust and we built a great relationship. So all I do is ping them on Slack now and I say, hey, I need XYZ done, and they just knock it out the park for me. And that's what can happen if you put in the time, if you hire the right people, and if you find amazing freelancers to work with. Again, stick around to the end of this video. I think this is going to be so valuable. It is the #1 skill you need to learn as a founder, as an entrepreneur, is how to hire people. With that being said, let's jump into it. Where do you hire these freelancers? There is only one place to go to hire freelancers, I'm telling you, and it is Upwork, right? People talk about Fiverr, people talk about onlinejobs.ph, people talk about all these other websites, but the only website to go to, in my opinion, is Upwork. You will find the highest quality talent. You will find the best people on Upwork. I highly recommend it. And again, by the way, if you want to download this blueprint, the link to this blueprint will be in the description. And also, if you want to support your boy, my Upwork affiliate code will also be in the description. I would appreciate if you use that. That would mean the world to me. So Upwork is really the only place that you should be going to hire freelancers. Just trust me on that. I've been around the block enough. Fiverr and all the other websites are just lower quality freelancers. So Upwork is where you need to be. Now that you know Upwork is where you need to be, we are going to show you exactly how to set up your job posts for the best results. And this step is very crucial because if you don't set up your job post correctly and you set up the right requirements, you're not going to get good applicants to your post. So with that being said, let's jump into it right now. We're going to go and post a job. And for this job, we are going to do something short term. And in this video, for this example, I am going to be hiring a developer, an app developer. Again, I'm going to be going through the exact process, but regardless of whether you're hiring a developer, you need to hire a designer, whether you're hiring a copywriter, I use the exact same strategy that I'm about to show you right now to hire people no matter what I'm hiring for. This should be valuable no matter who you're hiring, right? So I'm going to do it without AI. Let's start off with a strong title. So I'm going to say iOS developer needed to reskin app template. For this example, we're going to hire an iOS developer to reskin an app template. Again, doesn't matter who you're hiring. This is the exact process I use to hire anyone and everyone. So next we'll go to skills. We'll type in iOS development, Swift, Objective-C. The skills are important. This kind of helps Upwork decide which freelancers to show this job post to. So, you know, if you're hiring a designer or whatever it may be, choose Photoshop, Figma, whatever skills here, the skills are important. The rest of this doesn't really matter too much, right? Next, we'll go to the scope. This, again, depends on, you know, who you're hiring and what you're hiring them for. This one is going to be a medium task. We'll say 1 to 3 months, and this is going to be an expert. I always look for experts. I never look for entry or intermediate. That just doesn't exist with the jobs that we post, right? Could this become full-time? Why not? And then for location, I always recommend that you set worldwide. I don't like to have any country preferences, but you know, again, if I'm hiring a developer, I like to hire from Eastern Europe. I think people from Eastern Europe do great work regardless of what you're hiring for, but you know, developers, especially Eastern Europe. And then if you're hiring for something else, I think you can, you know, look worldwide. So next we'll go to the budget. Again, you know, your budget, depending on what you need done, your budget will vary drastically, but let's say for this, we're going to put up $2,000. And then next in the description, this is very important. And this is where I think people get really tripped up. It's important to be detailed in your description, but if you don't want just anyone seeing, you know, your business idea or your design idea or your app idea, then you can be very vague. You could just be like, for example, this one, experienced developer needed to reskin app template, new features to be added are AdMob integration, MMP integration, and Facebook ad pixel. More details to come upon application, right? So in this description, I was somewhat vague. I was still detailed enough for people to know that, you know, they have the skill set to required to do my job. But at the same time, I said more details to come upon application, meaning I'm not explaining what my business idea is. I'm just explaining generally what is needed to get the job done. And that is kind of how you don't give away your whole business idea, right? And then the key here is to ask them to apply to get more details. So I said more details to come upon application. So finally, we can review the job post and we can post the job. It's all going to look good. And then actually something very important that you should be doing, job preferences optional. We're gonna fix this up. Advanced preferences actually is what we're going to edit here. So we're gonna go to advanced preferences and we are going to change a couple things here. Job success score, obviously you want 90% and up. You only want people who have very high ratings. And then any amount earned, I like to do 100 plus earned. You don't want to be hiring someone who has made $0 on Upwork. You just want someone with a little bit of experience on the platform. It's gonna be much better for you. Just trust me on that. So then boom, we can go ahead and post the job. Okay, boom. So we're going to start getting applicants within 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And right after this, I'm going to come back and then I am going to start taking calls with these freelancers live on this video. So stick around until the end of this video. I'm going to show you exactly how I get on a phone or get on a video call with these freelancers and vet them as a person. I vet their skills and make sure that I am hiring the perfect and the best person for my job. Okay, it's been maybe 30 minutes, and this is why Upwork is the best platform to work on. We have 47 proposals from different freelancers, all submitting their application to work for us. 47. There is no other platform, there's no other freelancer platform that people will be this eager to work with you. It hasn't even been 30 minutes. Like, this is absurd. So now we're going to go through exactly how to kind of vet and go through these proposals and, verify that these freelancers are good, right? I'm going to show you what to look for kind of in their profiles. We're going to go through exactly how to vet them. And then we are going to go over getting on calls with these freelancers. I always recommend you take like a brief 10 to 15 minute call to just vet them as a human being. And yeah, let's jump into it. So right off the bat, there's a couple of key things that you want to look for while quickly vetting these freelancers. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through, because there's a lot of people here, right? We're going to go through this quickly. We're going to create a short list, and then we're kind of going to identify 3, 4, maybe 5 that we want to take a call with. And then from there, we can, narrow it down to the number one person that we want to work with. So the main key things that you want to look for here are how much money they have earned and their job success rate. Those are the 2 main key factors. And these 2 variables will tell you if the freelancer is good or not. So we're looking with people with more money earned. More money earned is a good thing. And we're looking for very, very high job success. So 100% job success. So if we scroll through here, these guys all have a lot of money earned. Again, when we're looking for developers specifically, I always like to hire from Eastern Europe. I don't like to hire from anywhere else because I typically have a better experience. But these guys all look really good. They have a lot of money earned, 100% job success. Here's a guy that we would not want to work with. 400 earned, but his job success isn't even shown, which is not a good sign. So we'll be not working with him. $0 earned. No, thank you. Ukraine. Boom. This guy right off the rip, top rated plus, like this is going to be a golden freelancer. We're going to shortlist this guy. 50K earned, 100% job success, 8K earned. Okay. All these people actually look very, very good. $0 earned, no. 200 earned, no. Job success. We're getting rid of them. 62% job success. Not good. Right? Like let's click into this guy's profile, check his reviews out, work history, none. This isn't a good sign, right? So again, we're not going to be working with that guy, right? Okay. And to narrow this list down a little bit more, we are going to get rid of the people kind of on the lower money earned side of things, right? So, we have people here like this guy has $1 million earned. That's absolutely absurd. So we're going to be getting rid of the people with kind of the lower dollar amounts earned. So we're going to be getting rid of this guy with 5K earned, this guy with 10, just because we have so many options here. The amount of money they've earned is really an indicator of success because obviously if they're making a lot of money, people will keep hiring them and work with them for a long period of time. So that is what we're looking for. 2K, no thanks. 2K, no. We're just going to get rid of anyone 20K and below because we have so many options. Okay, so we have 2 shortlisted so far, 2 from the Ukraine because, just from speaking from experience, like developers, Eastern Europe is the place to hire, but we're going to pick a couple more here as well. This guy looks really solid, so we're going to shortlist him as well. This guy's 4K, no thanks. Something to keep in mind when this little associated with bubble pops up here, it means they're associated with an agency. This can be a good or a bad thing, but when they're associated with an agency, typically you're not just going to be working with this freelancer. Typically the person associated with an agency is going to be an account manager. So you're not really going to be talking directly with the developer, right? And typically agencies like this actually charge a little bit higher. So, this guy says 1.9K here, but when I get on a phone with the agency, they're probably going to sell me a little bit more because I'll be speaking with an account manager and they'll have more people on their team. Whereas this guy, it just looks like it's just him, right? So that's something to look out for when you see these associated with kind of things right here. Again, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but just keep that in mind. So we're going to shortlist a couple other here. This guy looks really good. 100K earned, top rated plus, mobile and web apps. All right, so this guy looks great. The reason I'm not going with this guy over this guy is because this guy seems a little bit more broad development, right? But this guy seems like an expert mobile app developer, native and cross-platform iOS and Android. This is very specifically what we're looking for. Whereas this guy, kind of does Roku, Samsung, LG, yada, yada. We're not looking for kind of a general developer. We want someone who is very specialized. So we're going to shortlist this guy, and let's keep going through here. Another guy right here who looks really, really solid. Eastern Europe, $900,000 earned. He is associated with an agency, 100% job success, top rated plus. We're gonna shortlist this guy. So, all right, we have these 5 shortlisted freelancers, and we kind of judge them roughly based on their amount of money earned and their job success rate and kind of, whether they're top rated or not. But what we can do now is we can look in a little bit deeper into their profiles and we can start to check out their portfolios. So boom, typically people will have a showcase or portfolio of work they've done in the past. So you can go check all this stuff out, whether you're hiring a developer, a designer, whatever it may be, you always want to check out their previous work. So this guy has built this app, looks pretty standard. And then you can check out native iOS projects. So this guy has a bunch of stuff that he has worked on, right? So you can check out all of his apps and you can see, if his portfolio is actually impressive. I encourage you to go through their portfolio and then look at, their work history and look at their feedback. Like, are they getting good feedback? A lot of these have no feedback given. That's a bit weird to me, right? And then, we'll look at another. Awesome. So it looks like this guy is, he's associated with an agency, right? So again, we can look at his reviews, a lot of 5 stars here. That's a good sign. And again, I encourage you to explore and thoroughly vet these freelancers, and don't be afraid to like ask these people questions. Like, ask them for their portfolio, ask them for related apps that they've built to your project, right? And then finally, we're going to jump on a call with all these freelancers and actually vet them in person. I'm going to set up calls with each one of these freelancers. The way I recommend further vetting these freelancers and setting up the call is you send them a message and you say, hey, Manish, impressive portfolio, would love to jump on a 15-minute call to discuss details. And then I highly recommend Calendly to schedule these calls. On Calendly, they can just pick a time with me. I can set, my availability so they can set up a time with me and we can chat kind of whenever. So this is kind of the message that I would send, and we are going to send this exact message to all of the freelancers, and we're going to set up a call. Getting on a call with these freelancers is one of the most important parts to hiring correctly, because at the end of the day, you're hiring a person. And whether their portfolio is great or not, whether their Upwork profile is great or not, that matters a little bit. But like, a lot of the times people can hide behind these fake profiles and they're not really who they say they are, right? Or they're working with an agency and you're not really working with the person that showed their profile on Upwork, right? So you just want to hop on a call and you want to vet these people as human beings, right? Like, do they present well? Are they excited about your project? Do they seem smart? When you're talking to them face to face, are they bringing ideas to the table, right? Like, you can tell a lot about a freelancer just based on like a 10 to 15 minute call. And again, I will be hopping on these calls live in this video. I'll be showing you exactly how I speak to these people and vet them. So stick around for that. But before we kind of jump into the video calls, I want to break down exactly what our goal is on these video calls. Again, want to verify their vibe as a human being. You want to understand who you're hiring and you want to build rapport with them. You want to build a relationship with them, obviously. But you may be concerned because on this video call, we need to be very detailed with them and tell them exactly what we need to get done to, understand that they have the skill set and they understand the requirements for the job before we get started, right? So with that being said, if you are concerned about them stealing your idea or you want to hold this idea close to the vest, by all means, download an NDA template off the internet. Maybe I'll throw one in the description if you need one, but like, download an NDA template and have them sign it. Like, there's no harm, no foul there. I've never had a problem getting people to sign an NDA. So if you're very concerned about someone stealing your idea, just have them sign an NDA. It's a quick and easy solution to that, and you don't have to worry about it, right? And then after that, you can tell them exactly what needs to be done in your job. You can tell them about your project. You can be detailed and you can get their feedback and, see how excited they are. And then we're going to take these 10 to 15 minute calls and we're basically going to see where we're at and what freelancer we liked the most after the calls. And then by that point, we should be ready to hire someone. And also, stick around to the end of the video, because after we get on these calls and we kind of pick the freelancer that we want to work with, we're going to be going over how to manage them and how to continue working with them for a long time. Because if you invest the time in hiring this person and bring them on, you want to continue working with them for a long period of time. It just makes everything so much easier. We're going to be going over how to pay them, how to keep up great communication, how to build that rapport, how to build that relationship with the freelancer, and ultimately start to put together this core group of people that you can go to at any time that you trust to do great work for you. So stick around to the end of the video. And with that being said, let's jump into the live calls. All right, so check this out. This is Ilya. He's one of the guys that we shortlisted. And I said, hey man, this is the message that we just sent a little while ago. I said, hey man, would love to jump on a 15-minute call to discuss details. And he said, sure, are you available in 1 hour? So we have a meeting scheduled at this time. Just so you all know, I made sure to ask him if I could record the call and potentially post this on YouTube, because I told him I am filming a series and he said absolutely no problem. So we will be hopping on a call together, and yeah, we'll be seeing what his vibe is, seeing him as a person, talking face to face. And this will really help me make my decision and kind of pick him or not pick him as my freelancers. One thing that you should keep in mind before these calls with freelancers is like, you want to go to these calls prepared and have your questions lined up so that you make sure you ask everything you need to. So for example, I always like to have a Google Doc open with a page of notes. I have the notes here for Ilya right now. I'll be writing notes about him as a person and kind of his experience so that I can refer back to these. And when I take calls with other freelancers, I can compare notes, right? And that will help me also make a decision on who exactly to hire. So here we have our questions to ask. We're doing intros, you know, the casual, hey, what's up? How's the weather type questions, you know what I mean? And then we'll be asking what his experience is with mobile apps. Has he done this reskinning before? And then some more technical questions about exactly what I want done with my project. And again, you should do this for a developer, for a designer, whatever you're hiring for on Upwork, right? You should go prepared into these calls and make sure you're not wasting your time. And importantly, you know, you're not wasting the freelancer's time, right? You want to make the most out of this 10 to 15 minute call. So with that being said, I will see you on the call with Ilya. Okay, so Ilya ended up not having his camera on in the call, so I didn't think that would be a good one to show in the video, but we actually spoke to Malik, who, you know, was kind enough to have his camera on and let us record this for YouTube. Again, I asked Malik if it would be cool for me to record this and post it on YouTube. Where are you from?
Yeah, let me introduce myself.
Awesome, man. Awesome. That's incredible. That's incredible. Well, awesome, bro. I'll give you a little background about myself. You know, I'm from the US. I started building apps at a very young age, kind of when I was like 15, 16, started off with simple little games and kind of naturally progressed. Now, you know, I've built health apps. I have an app that helps people quit vaping and a couple other apps that I built. And yeah, right now I'm kind of looking to just build out my portfolio of apps and, you know, work with talented freelancers such as yourself to help me kind of get there a little bit faster. So the project that I'm working on right now is actually a reskin of a workout app. It's, you know, very simple. I found the reskin on Theme Forest. So I did have a couple questions for you. Have you done reskins before? Yeah, it's even easier to do reskinning. And then, so right now the app itself supports AdMob, but I was wondering if you had kind of experience integrating other various like ad SDKs. Would that be an issue for you? Awesome, man. Awesome. And then another quick one for you. Have you worked with Apps Flyer before? Because I definitely, you know, once we build this app and get it on the store, I definitely want to be scaling with paid ads. And I'll be using Apps Flyer, you know, Revenue Cat to, you know, connect the analytics. Awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, just had a quick couple questions. I appreciate you taking the time. I do have a couple other interviews after this, so I'm going to chat to a couple of developers and then kind of see which direction I want to go. And then I will shoot you a message on Upwork if we decide to move forward, right? It's a great industry to be in, man. But listen, I really appreciate the time. I will get back to you on Upwork. Like I said, I have a couple other calls that I'll be taking after this with other developers. And then, yeah, man, if I decide to move forward, I will shoot you a message. Thank you so much, bro.
Thank you so much. Bye.
All right, man. Later. Yeah, as you saw, we had a great call. You know, he's worked for over 7 years on mobile apps. He previously worked at a couple of other apps that were in his portfolio. He went to university to study comp sci. He mainly builds apps from scratch with his team, but he also has some experience reskinning. And he gave us a great recommendation to, you know, consider using Stripe payments instead of Apple's native payment gateway, which, you know, I've seen a lot of other developers doing lately to avoid the 15 or 30% tax that Apple takes. So this is just one of the calls, right? But again, I would be taking calls with every single person that we shortlisted, right? So ideally, I'm talking with 4, 5, 6 freelancers, taking a call with every single one of them, and then making a educated decision based on my calls with them and based on my notes that I take with each freelancer. So boom, once you have spoken to all the freelancers and you've taken notes and you are confident in your educated decision to choose the one freelancer that you want to work with, what you can do is go over to the job post or just simply go over to their profile on your messages here. And what you can do is send this freelancer an offer, and you can put details in the contract that we're going to go over in just a second. But essentially you can send them that offer, and then once the freelancer approves, then your money will go into escrow between Upwork, and you guys get to work. You start communicating, you start knocking out the project. And then once everyone is happy with where the project is at, Upwork will release the funds to the freelancer. But kind of before you do that and before you jump off this video, I do want to explain kind of how you should be thinking about paying these freelancers and kind of the way that I do it. When I'm paying freelancers, I never pay hourly, right? I only pay on a project basis. And this is, I think, the best way to do it, right? Because everyone's happy. If you pay after the project is completed and after everything has been delivered and everything's good, there's no bugs, there's no errors in whatever you got delivered, then you are good to release the payment, and the developer or the designer or whoever has done their work, you're happy, they're happy, and the payment is released. I think it's much cleaner to do it this way. I wouldn't really recommend paying on an hourly basis for projects like this, right? Like relatively short-term projects. And then how do you keep great communication? You need to communicate with them daily and make sure they're staying, on top of their work. Make sure you're offering help and advice, where you can. Stay on top of this project that you're managing with this freelancer. And, I encourage you to communicate through Upwork. And then, if it's cool, then you can take them on Slack and you can communicate that way as well. But I always recommend you keep your payments on Upwork because, they have your best interest in mind. Upwork does, and they're kind of looking out for you and the freelancer. So doing payments through Upwork is kind of the best way to keep everyone happy. And then, if you have a great experience with the freelancer and you enjoy the experience working with them, make sure you nurture this relationship. Give them bonuses, offer quick payments, let them do the thing and let them be the expert in the field that they're in. Don't be micromanaging them, but just nurture a relationship and treat them well as you would any one of your best employees. So with that being said, we just hired a freelancer. We're now a founder. We're now a CEO. We now have employees. We went from where to hire freelancers. We set up the job post. We vet and verified that the freelancers were good. We got on a live call. We vetted the freelancer. We made a decision on who we wanted to hire, and boom, now we've hired a freelancer and we have someone working for us. We are now a founder. So boom. I hope you got a ton of value from this video. If you're watching to the end, you probably enjoyed it. So I would really appreciate if you left a like on the video. And again, if you have any questions at all, you can always DM me on Instagram. I will get right back to you. That is where I'm the most active. I'm always on Instagram shooting messages back. We can take a call if you want and talk about your project, your mobile app, whatever it may be. Shoot me a DM on Instagram, and I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next one. Peace.